when I do Edmodo trainings, when people, if you've never seen Edmodo before, it's a social learning community. So it looks a lot like Facebook. People will sometimes refer to it as Facebook for education, but it's a completely secure, private platform that you can use with your kids. And I love that quote, education no longer comes in rows and textbooks, but from a combination of sources, which is so true. If you're not putting sound and animation to something, your kids are, you've probably lost them. They're probably, wandering around the room. So most of my samples are going to be geared a little bit more towards elementary, because that's something I've been focused on, is a pilot program for our district where we're using iPads and computers. So secondary teachers usually get it really fast and they just kind of take off on their own. Elementary, we do a little bit more prompting and helping build the framework for them. So I'm going to use most of my samples for those. But I put the mission up there. For the mission for Edmodo is to connect all learners with the people and resources they need to reach their full potential. It's just very intuitive, and once you've played around with it a little bit, you'll see, you could run your whole classroom on Edmodo. These are just the 4 targets that when people ask why to use it, it's a wonderful way to engage students, because you can add all these wonderful other third-party tools, anything that you can attach, even from a PowerPoint to a PDF to a wonderful ThingLink embed or a YouTube video. There isn't anything that you can't post in Edmodo, as long as the audience has the right software to play that. As long as they've got the right browser, the right flash player, there isn't anything that you can't share. And this is a slide that I use at every training I do. These are all of the things I tell teachers. These just start with any of these that you're already familiar with, and all of them can be embedded or used in Edmodo. We did TAC last night, and that works beautifully in Edmodo. I've always shown ThingLink as one of my top things. Symbalooz, Vokies, and these are just web tools. If I added all the apps that I could smash in to ThingLink and Edmodo, it would take 2 or 3 slides. So it's pretty impressive the amount of content and tools that you can blend in together. This is the slide, and I'm going to get rid of the slideshow and actually show you from the ThingLink site. This is the ThingLink that I created for the latest ThingLink Educator Challenge for app smashing. Is that coming through okay size-wise?
Great. Yes.
All right. So you've probably seen something similar to this out there. When I started looking and going to conferences last year, app smashing was very popular. And the thing is every district is unique. You have different browsers and servers. You're a Google school, you're a Microsoft school, you have iPads and everybody has one-on-one. Or our district has a shared cart model, which is very different. So you kind of have to make your learning tools and your teacher tools personalized to make it, something that's fluid and that teachers can run with it on their own. So ThingLink was perfect. I took all of the apps for this iPad pilot that I considered brainstorming tools. A mind mapping one, Google Docs, Notability is just a fabulous app for note-taking, a word cloud maker. So those are things kids can be doing for their research and planning things out. And then I've got this big middle section where I've taken all of the apps that I consider the core basic apps that we're going to use in our pilot. And I always tell teachers, just pick one, learn it really, really well, integrate it into your lesson planning, and then move on to a new tool. And what they notice after 2 or 3 weeks of playing with one, that they start to embed together, that you can put 2 or 3 or 4 different apps all into one project, which is amazing if you're working on the SAMR ladder or the 5 E's. The depth and the exploration and the explanation that the kids get to show you what they know, which is the point, right? We want the kids showing us what they've learned. So each one of these has a small description that tells you what works with it. AudioBoo is the one I like to use for audio files. And then if I have a sample, I'm putting little tiny samples. Like this happens to be a ThingLink sample full of not just the picture of the woodpecker. You click it, you hear the woodpecker. You hear the wolf. You hear the owls. You can embed all that content in your ThingLink, and then you can use the other tool to curate the content. Whoops. That is what the ThingLink looks like for that one. Each one of those, when you open them up, would actually play the sound file. Since we don't have shared sound today, we'll just skip over that. But so all those things in iMovie, anybody who uses iPads, you know that you can take 4 or 5 of those different things already on the screen and put them in your iMovie. So unlimited possibilities. But then the important thing is you have to have some way to share it out, especially if you're doing 5e and SAMR. The audience is a big piece, and the kids need to have some place that they can debate, dialogue, critique each other, peer edit, all those wonderful things that we want them to start doing with their work instead of just turning in the old piece of paper. So Edmodo is probably the one I use the most. It's something we use district-wide. Even kindergarten will use it more for a flip the lesson and get mom and dad involved with posting from home, all the way up to high school where they're doing all their assignments and turning things in paperlessly, and sharing and debating amongst the classes. Kid blogs will work. We use Dropbox for sharing files. Padlet is another wonderful one that works with everything. I put my thing links inside a Padlet. I put my Padlet in my Edmodo, and then I let the kids just pick it apart and spit back what they've learned, tell what their favorite pieces are. And then Google Drive. Some districts are going to be all Google, and ours is a little bit of both, so I always make sure I have Dropbox and Google Drive. And I'm going to show just a few samples of how, well, actually, first I think I'll show you my Edmodo page just so you can see it. When you log into Edmodo, it has a running latest post feed, kind of like if you use Twitter or Facebook or any other social learning platform. It's going to just show you who's been talking. So that's just a dialogue of every group I'm in. But it lets you create your own groups. So you can create a group for your homeroom class, for any club, a book club, an after-school thing, the student council, anything you want. And once you create a group, I made one just for tonight to post a couple samples. Once you make a group, it has this handy little group code, and only students I give that code to are invited to be in my class group. So it keeps it completely private. The third grade class doesn't know what the second grade class is working on. So it's a wonderful way for just your class to dialogue and share. And then it's a way to do global collaborative things. You can have pen pal groups and have that group code be you and a teacher in New Zealand that wants to dialogue with your kids. So you and that teacher run the group together, but it's still private. It's just your 20 kids and her 20 kids. So it's a wonderful way to bring groups together, but keep it, private. You don't have to worry that there's an outside person looking at any of the kids' content. It's completely private. But here is a sample I put, and this was an actual sample. I just copied it from a teacher's page, where we said explore the attached thing link on the Western region. This was third grade social studies. And it says all the answers to the worksheet can be found somewhere on this thing link image. So that's important. It's the same worksheet we would have done any other year, but this is just taking it up a notch. We've made the thing link. They're working in groups of 4. I think there's 5 groups of 4 kids. And then they have to reply back on here and say which state they've decided to go deeper in. And then those groups are going to make their own one state thing link to then post back. So I'm going to open mine up so you can see how beautiful it looks once it opens in Edmodo. It's going to use the embed screen, so I don't have any distracting ads or anything. I just get my great thing link image. And the little eyes, I like to customize my icons with the premium thing link. It lets you change the icons if you want. Each of the eye has the state facts sheet. All the others are just pictures of what the landscape is. I have some videos, all kinds of enhancement things, more than they would get just from reading a couple chapters in a book from the library. This is just packed full of good content. So the kids are exploring that. They're going to pick which state they want to do for their project, and I just pretended that Jody, Susan, Bobby, and Andrew have picked California, so they've posted here. And what's beautiful about these is everybody will post. We'll just say Kate, Jack, and Tom choose Colorado. And the minute they hit send, it has in real time posting. Everything is linear. Nothing's getting lost. There's no papers. All the communication is taking place on the platform, which is great. And to make a post at the top, it just says type your note here. If you click, it always gives you the option to add a file. So again, PowerPoints, PDFs, any content that you have that you want the kids to open, the links where I would embed my thing link like I did at the bottom. And then it lets you have an unlimited library. And that's a great thing these days for free, that it will give you unlimited storage space. And up here at the very, very top, there's a library where you can make your own folders and share them with your kids. So the mechanics of using it with your kids is very simple. It's a basic discussion board with all of these options to put the content out there. Every single thing you do, even a poll, has the reply button at the bottom. Every post at the bottom will have a reply thread, and it keeps it all in order. So the more kids that replied down here, they would just keep building. So that's just a little bit about what the platform looks like for the discussion boards. It also lets you build assignments with a turn-in button, so that way if you need to know exactly what Jack knows, he hits the turn-in button, it comes back privately to the teacher. Discussion board is for everybody. Everybody's talking. And polls are an anonymous, quick assessment, exit ticket, wonderful tool where you can ask a question. The class does it in real time, so it's like having Poll Daddy or something just built right in, which is a powerful tool to have. But I'm going to go back to my ThingLink account and just show you some of the other ThingLinks that we've used in Edmodo. One thing I had to have this year, because I had so many people who were new to it, is I had to make a ThingLink about how to use Edmodo for the students, because kindergarten through 5th grade are doing it at home with mom and dad. So we made this great one that has every single function that you could want to do. How to edit. How does the backpack work, which is the unlimited storage space. How to make my profile picture. So this one ThingLink is a tutorial for everybody. I post it on the teacher's webpage. I put it inside Edmodo. We post it in all these places. So it's fantastic. You can't answer everybody's questions at night when they're working on their Edmodo posts. But if you post something like a ThingLink, it's incredible how fast it is for the kids to pick up what they need to know. This is a kindergarten class, and they went on a field trip, and they took their iPads with them, and they used the ThingLink app. And so they've got the picture. We embedded little videos of them talking about facts that they learned about the field trip. So we've smashed the camera. We did pictures. We added facts. The ThingLink app is an excellent, and because Edmodo is also portable, you can take that same iPad, they log into Edmodo, they're making a ThingLink even without being online, and when they get back to class, they can post it and finish it and share it out. One of my other favorite things to do is the word clouds. A lot of our buildings are focusing on vocabulary. So this was Charlotte's Web, and so we put AudioBoo links. And I love those because you can have the picture. So this one document has all the vocab and focus words. We've added a Quizlet. We've added book information on the book. And then we've just added information on who everybody is. Even a little video clip from the movie about being the runt. So this we would post in Edmodo, and we would have the kids explore it. They might be filling out a worksheet. They might be using this as a sample, and maybe whatever book the child is reading, this is a great way to turn around and do a book report or a book activity. Each kid can make their own word cloud or their own background picture. Maybe it's an original drawing that the kid has made, and then you use the ThingLink and you put it in Edmodo, and that also becomes a way to share the entire project. So it's like a digital portfolio spot also. So I'll open my Edmodo back up again, but you can see that any file, any link, so gosh, that's just unlimited choices right there. And if one post said each group should reply back and post their Prezi or their ThingLink video or their iMovie link, each kid could just hit reply, hit their link, hit reply, hit their link. It's just unlimited possibilities, and the mechanics are very, very simple. The interface at the top, the buttons, like the library is a book. The home button is a house. It's very, very easy to navigate. And even if you don't use it with your kids, teachers use it just for professional development. The Edmodo ThingLink that I made, for example, if I was just teaching people how to use tools, I could make a group for each training session I had on each individual tool, and I could put the guides and I could put the samples, just unlimited possibilities on the things that you could do for professional development or for building that flipped or blended classroom, even for people as young as kindergarten and first grade. It really works well. The parents are pleased. Posting tutorials and things are awesome, but ThingLink is probably my favorite tool to post in especially elementary because you can pack it with so many possibilities for research, and the kid still feels like they're in control of what they're looking for, but the teacher has very carefully picked out what she's put on the ThingLink, but they still feel like, you know, it's cool. It requires, you know, they get to be on their app, they can be on their mother's phone, they can be on a laptop. Studying your vocab suddenly isn't quite so boring as it used to be when you just took your sheet home. So let's see if people have questions, and then I can show you anything else you want, or you know, we can tweak it any direction we'd like.
We have a couple questions that came in. First question: when your students are using iPads, are they using the ThingLink app, or are they using Safari or another type of web browser and going through the website?
We use both, but in elementary especially, I prefer using the browser, and we put our address for Edmodo, our subdomain address. We made a button on our, you know, you can hold down in Safari and you can say add to my homepage, and it makes what looks like an app button. We do that with Edmodo. In fact, on my ThingLink, that little E is actually a link to the web address because it looks exactly like the computer. So if the teacher's projecting on a teacher station up on the projector and the kids are on an iPad, it mirrors exactly. And I use the app more for secondary because a lot of those kids are bringing your own device and they're using it from their own portable phone, whether it's an Android or an iPhone.
The next question that came in, I had an educator ask, can they join your Edmodo group?
I could, yeah, if you want to. It's DJH B4A. I can, if you post and you are looking for resources, I can send things back. So I could keep this one open. I was just kind of playing around with it today, but I have lots and lots of researches on. I have a whole folder on just ThingLink samples, for example, and an entire folder just for the ThingLink app. So yes, anybody that wants to can join that, and I'll share anything I've got.
Great. And the last question was, would you be willing to share the ThingLink you created about using the Edmodo?
Yes.
I'm getting the link to that right now, and I'm going to be posting that out in the chat section. And I also posted it in the Titan Pad, so everyone has
and
that.
I'll post it on that ThingLink. I'll post it on the group too.
Excellent.
If you, while people are, see, it's just very easy. I'm just going to copy my address. I'm going to go back to Edmodo, and I'm going to pick the link. I'm going to paste that link in there. It'll even name it whatever I named it on the internet, so it'll pull up my ThingLink title.
And I think that was all for questions right now.
And that ThingLink is set that it's remixable, so if I have something in there that's district specific, you could hit the remix button and you could make that your own. It'll look like you made it. That remix button is awesome in a ThingLink.
It definitely makes collaboration easier.
I know. Why recreate the wheel if somebody else has made it? And that's the other thing. If you work with 4 other teachers in your grade level, divide up your content. Everybody make one thing, share it all, then you got 4 times the content.